At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability, ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. We've got a really fascinating set of searches today that we are going to take a look at, all having to do with Jerks and Profar and the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, fans are constantly checking on their teams and players, and we see that reflected in their searches.
Exactly.
So we've got kind of the usual suspects, MLB standings, MLB games, but then things get really interesting.
Yeah, Jerks and Profar, of course, but then Profar suspended, Brave schedule. We've even got MLB PED policy and Profar contract searches all kind of swirling around.
Right. These are not just random searches. They're all connected. They tell a story.
Okay.
And today we're going to kind of break that story down, figure out what it all means.
Exactly. Let's jump right in. So right off the bat, those searches for Profar suspended and Jerks and Profar suspension, I mean, those are pretty straightforward, right? It looks like he's been suspended from Major League Baseball.
Yeah, no question about it. That's the big news here. And then you see those suspension searches right alongside MLB PED policy, which, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, that's the league's rules against performance-enhancing substances.
Right, sure.
And you start to see the connections, right? While we don't have the exact details from these searches, typically when you see an MLB suspension and then people are searching for PED policy, it's a pretty strong indicator.
Yeah, it's definitely a red flag. Okay, so Profar's out for now. So how does this impact the Atlanta Braves? We see searches for Atlanta Braves schedule, just plain Braves.
Yeah.
This kind of absence has got to have some ripple effects on the team, right? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got MLB games coming up. Braves schedules probably being frantically checked by fans right now. A missing player, especially one of Profar's caliber, it can really disrupt their whole game plan.
Yeah, and then you think about the MLB standings searches. And even MLB standings 2025, people are thinking long term. Where do the Braves sit in the league? How does this affect their chances? We've seen in the past how one player being out can really shift the momentum for a whole team.
For sure. And then there's the whole contractual side of things, too. You mentioned those searches for Jerks and Profar contract. People are thinking, what does this mean for his future with the team?
It's a good point. We don't know the specifics of his contract, but a suspension like this, it can definitely throw a wrench in things, could trigger certain clauses, lead to discussions about his future with the Braves. Who knows?
Absolutely. And then you can't forget about performance. We see Jerks and Profar stats popping up in the searches. People want to know what the Braves are losing on the field. Was he a big hitter? Was he in a slump? These stats tell a story, too.
That's right. His stats are going to be frozen in time now for who knows how long. And that matters, especially in a sport where performance is everything. And it's not just about him as an individual. Those MLB standing searches remind us that this all plays into the bigger picture. Every team is battling for position. Every game matters. This suspension could impact where the Braves end up in the standings.
Yeah, it's all connected. It's like a chain reaction. This suspension, which we can guess is probably related to the PED policy searches, has a direct effect on the Braves' schedule, their performance, maybe even their position in the standings, and it could have long-term repercussions for Profar himself. It's amazing how much information is packed into these simple searches.
It really is. It's so easy to just see a headline like Profar suspended and keep scrolling, but when you dig a little deeper, you see the whole story. So, for all you baseball fans out there, the key takeaway here is Jerks and Profar of the Atlanta Braves has been suspended. We don't know for sure why, but the MLB PED policy searches suggest a likely reason. And this news, well, it has immediate consequences for the Braves, their schedule, and their strategy going forward.
It makes you think, though, these sports updates we see every day, these searches, they paint a fascinating picture. I mean, how does understanding things like league policies, like the PED policy in this case, help us make sense of these events as they unfold? It's something to think about.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll be back soon with another look at the ever-changing world of sports news. Keep searching, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.